Hey friends and family, this is SP News Nugget, and today you guys, we've got a couple of stories to share with you. I know today is Sunday, but we're going to share a couple of stories because they are building up, and I want you guys to be very aware of what's going on. So if you're not part of the friends and the family of this channel, please go right now and subscribe to the channel. Click that bell for notifications so when we upload all of these videos and we upload all this breaking news and we go live, you guys will get notified also. Okay, let's get into this. This is about this woman. She's a white woman that she actually held these 4 boys gunpoint that was just going door to door, that was trying to just do a fundraiser for their school, their football team. Okay, let's get into it. At first, the high school boys players thought that the woman waving the gun was joking. Then she started yelling and cursing, and she forced them to the ground. The 4 boys aged 15 and 16 had spent that August the 7th morning in their town going door to door to sell discount cards for their annual high school football team fundraiser, which took them to the home of a 46-year-old stranger named Jerry Kelly. But before the teens even knocked on the door, Kelly emerged with a chrome-plated revolver. Accordingly to the police, she used an explicit as she told them to lie down, spread their legs, and place their arms behind their back. The boys later told the police when they tried to explain they were fundraising for school, not stealing, she called them liars. Accordingly to the police records, when one boy tried to swat a mosquito, the records indicate Kelly threatened that if he didn't stop moving, she would shoot. The boys told the police they were so scared. The boy said, "I thought she was going to shoot me in the head." How she was acting. Kelly has been charged with 4 counts, each of aggravated assault and false imprisonment, both felonies, and 4 counts of endangering the welfare of a minor, which is a misdemeanor. The woman who used to work in law enforcement, whose husband in the Cross County Jail administrator was arrested, booked and bonded out on August the 12th, without ever getting her mug shot taken, which has drawn sarcasm from locals, and that she received favored treatment. Days later, she returned and had her mug shot taken. Later on, at the Wine High School, where the teens are students, administrators are reevaluating how to handle students with fundraising efforts. Moving forward, Wine Public School Superintendent Carol Easley said in an interview, "They're just kids who has lived in the area for 40 years. You worry about your neighbors and you wonder, who is this person?" Wine police officers interviewed a half a dozen witnesses, all who said the teens had done nothing to provoke Kelly, accordingly to her arrest affidavit. In 4 separate statements, the boys, who authorities did not name because they are minors, offered similar versions of how that morning began. They left football practice, 2 of them dressed in their jerseys and 2 in street clothes, to set out selling cards. The boys said they walked to get water, then started knocking on doors, where they took turns delivering their pitch and hanging back by the street. When the teens approached Kelly's house, they did not know that she had already reported them as suspicious persons to the police. Kelly told the police in a statement that she heard yelling and screaming and dogs barking outside her residence, then watched as the 4 walked down the middle of the street and towards her neighbor's house. All males were African American, and I know this residence to be white, Kelly said in her statement. The woman told the police she saw them horseplaying in the driveway, aggravating the dogs that lived there, and walking around the carport area. By the time the officers arrived, about 8 minutes later, accordingly to the police report, Kelly already had the teens on the ground at gunpoint. She asked if they knew whose house they were at, demanding they show her their ID and told them to keep their heads down. The boys later told authorities once the officers arrived, Kelly walked to her carport and put her gun on the back of her vehicle, authorities said. Accordingly to the police report, when they turned towards her house, Kelly said she feared for her safety. So she then grabbed her gun and called her husband to send over the police. Responding officers immediately recognized the teens as students from Wine High School, where he is the resource officer. He told them they could get up and stand by the patrol car. But when they began to walk away, Kelly called them back accordingly to the report. The woman proceeded to lecture them, saying though it might appear her actions were radical, motivated, it ain't about that, accordingly to the arrest report. She told the boys they were acting suspicious and did not look like salesmen. An hour later, Kelly asked the boys for their contact information so she could buy them lunch to put some closure on this. Accordingly to the arrest report, in the statement she gave police, Kelly said she felt remorse after she learned the four were teenagers simply trying to fundraise for school, but they were not acting as such as the initial encounter. The school was notified immediately, and the administrators then called the teenagers' parents to explain what had happened. Of course, the parents were upset. Easily said anybody would be if that happened to their child. The students at Wine High School were about 70% white and 28% black. Easily said, before this incident, the school has never had issues with students selling the discount cars in their community. Okay, you guys, let's talk about this incident because this is just getting ridiculous that kids now cannot go out and do the little things with the fundraisers. You know, I've seen these cards before. I think they've got two different kinds. They got this one kind where you can just get discounts on, you know, rental cars and food, restaurants and things of that nature. I think it's like $5 or whatever. But you can kind of tell kids when they're out knocking on the doors. She did not wait to see what they were doing. She just seen 4 black kids and she decided, let me get my gun and I'm going to be doing a little bit of justice. This is what she said. I'm going to put the law in my hands and I'm going to imprison these kids because they don't need to be over here. And I know that the neighbors over here, all their kids is white. And this is going to teach these kids a lesson. And I get a little privileged because I'm white and I'm of this age. And they don't need to be over here trying to give us a discount and help their little community or help their little football team. Okay? She put the gun to their head. She made them lay down on the ground. All because they were out trying to get some fundraising for their football team. I'm going to tell you guys something. I don't let my kids go out and fundraise for a school for nothing. You don't know who's going to come to that door. Now, the reason why I'm telling you this because I don't do it. If they need jerseys, if they need whatever, you know, play with what you got. Or guess what? If we can't afford it, you don't get it. Because you're dealing with people like this. And then what she wanted to do? Oh, she felt remorse. She wanted to buy them lunch. You don't put that kind of a trauma into a kid and say, hey, let's go have some lunch. Or here you go, here's $5. Go get you some lunch. No, you need to be, you know, accountable for what you just did. I'm going to tell you, one of the most scariest things in the world is have a gun pointed to you. Because you don't know what that other person on the other side of that gun is thinking. Anyway, you guys, chime on this. Tell me what you think about it. Leave a comment down below. Anyway, always be good, be safe, and be nice to each other.